Good morning, world. Um, I don't know why I'm up this early, but I say, hey, since I'm up, I might as well cook something. Okay, so just want to make this video probably short and sweet, maybe. Hopefully, maybe just talking to it. There's been a lot on my mind recently with everything that's been going on with me in general. With the people that's in my life. Just want to make a little video. This video is mainly more towards love. There are different forms of love, and a lot of us are still trying to understand our own forms of love. Like, I know for me, I love people differently depending on how our relationship is. If I see an interest in you romantically, and I took time to understand who you are and things like that, and I tell you that I love you, or I got feelings for you, just know that it took me a lot to really tell you. Why? Because I am naturally an introvert, but I am extroverted. I am very shy and timid. God dang it. Alright. I am also scared of rejection. Don't get me wrong, I'm used to it, but every time I'm scared of it. So for me to really express my feelings to you, it would take a lot. And some people don't understand, how I am with that. So in my situation, I'm gonna say like this: family. I love my brothers and sisters, even though we all have not grown up together like a regular family. So sometimes it is a bit rocky for us to talk, or even just communicate in general, hang out with each other. Because it's been so long that we actually hang around each other. Normally it's special events like my sister's birthday and her wedding, and that's the most recent. My birthday coming up too, so I really want all of us to come together and have fun. I'll get into that a little later. If you're somebody I'm thinking of pursuing it romantically, and let's say I just straight up tell you, hey, I like you, I got feelings for you. Just know it really took me a lot to say something to you, because I didn't know how you might react to it or anything like that. So it does take me a little minute. I don't like these little cabbages, man. I like the bigger ones. So yeah, but when I say one thing about especially if I see you as a romantic partner, when I say that I love you, and care about you, it's already set in stone. Because that's one thing I don't play about. I don't play about my heart. Crazy part is that I'm very picky about who I pursue. I take my time to understand the person, get to know them a little more, and see if this is somebody that I really want to, spend time with, be around, learn with, grow with. And it takes a lot. So that's one thing that I've really learned over the years, is that if I truly tell you, and I only got these feelings for you, and I tell you, it's set in stone. You can treat me wrong, but at the end of the day, if you keep coming back, I know it's something there. Something there. You just don't know what it is. Well, that's not cool. And we can work through it together. Now, if I see that you're at least trying and putting in the effort to understand who I am and deal with me, then I'll keep on going. I'll keep helping you out. But I've learned over the years that some people are very tricky. Some people, they act like they like you when they only use you for whatever they're trying to get out of you. Like, I've dealt with women, not all of them, but most of them that I've dealt with. All they really wanted was money, and well, basically for me, all they really wanted was money. They didn't really care about how I felt or anything like that. So it kind of like shut me off to love. Crap. I didn't mean to fall apart. But yeah, it shut me off to love a lot. Because I really thought this person was genuine. And I really thought, I could try to build with this person. I thought I might see a possible future. The crazy part is that, God really does open your eyes to a lot of things. And it's amazing what He can show you about yourself, too. For instance, God has showed me a lot, especially when it comes to love, is that I am very patient, I am very kind, and if I see potential there, I'm not going to give up on it. That can be with anything, truthfully. And that's why most of the time I don't mind, being single or just being alone, because I've seen how people are. I've seen how humans are in their natural habitat. I know it sounds creepy to say it like that, but that's just how it is. So I'm not really worried too much about being alone in my life. One thing that I've heard over the years, people say to me, Bernard, don't worry about love, because you'll find that right person. And by us being humans, that's the natural thing we say. Oh yeah, you'll find the right person. Yeah, that person will come. Don't worry about it, man. Fuck these bitches. Excuse my language. That's fine and dandy. That's our natural response, especially when it comes to rejection. I've learned that for me, I've been rejected millions of times. And I took time away from the dating scene, about roughly 10 years. And you know, I get asked the question a lot when I go to my brothers and sisters' houses or anything like that. I get asked a lot. When are you getting married? Do you have a girlfriend? Are you going to have any kids? And my main response to that question is no. I'm not having any kids right now. I don't know when I'm going to get married. And I don't have a girlfriend. And I say that because it's the truth. Life is one crazy roller coaster. And I've been through a lot. And one thing is, I don't want to give my heart to anybody just for them to play with me. And a lot of people don't understand that concept of why am I still single? Why am I worried about this person? Why am I worried about that person? Why am I worried about working? Why am I worried about my bills? Excuse me. It's because that's my main priority right now. I'm not too worried about, who I'm dealing with, because people will always show you their true colors, especially if you give them time. One thing about me, if I've been genuine to you, just in general, just been genuine, being that type of friend you need, always being there for you, that's one thing that's never truly going to change unless you've done something to make it change. If I love you, I love you. If I see a future with you, now mind you, I'll start right here for a second. Mind you, because my walk in the spirit is different from everybody else's, God talks to everybody differently. I've learned over the few years that God talks to me through my dreams. I don't physically hear a voice like everybody does. Like, I heard the voice of God. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know that voice. And there's nothing wrong with that, because God talks to people differently. Me, God talks to me through my dreams. And I've learned that especially when I was younger, I used to have a lot of vivid dreams. And it's just nothing but God talking to me. Most of my dreams came true. That's why I have a lot of sense of deja vu. Am I knocking it? No. I think that's a powerful gift. So back to that. God talks to me through my dreams. And sometimes he'll talk to me, especially with the recent events that happened in my life recently, these last few months. He also talks to me through music, because I play drums or been musically inclined since I was a child. That's one way God talks to me. By me working in my field of work that I work in, security, I've learned how to read people. I'm not talking about how the gay man be saying, "Oh, I'm gonna read you," or stuff like that. No. Reading, when I say reading, I'm talking about I can look at a person. For instance, at work, since I'm in retail as an armed security guard, I've learned to know when someone is planning on stealing. And 99% of the time, I am correct if that person stole. But because of Maryland laws, I can't really do too much to stop that person. I could be a deterrent, Like, hey, put that back. You're gonna pay for that. At the end of the day, that's truly what my job is. Just observe, report, and that's really about it. So, because of that, I've learned that people are evil. We are naturally born in sin, so regardless of what you may say, and this is actually in the Bible, I'm just wording it differently. We are born of sin, and we are purely evil. But that's why God gives us that chance to keep coming back and repenting. And every time if we come back wholeheartedly, He will forgive us. And I can be a testament of that. But going back to my subject, you know, love is a powerful, powerful emotion. But the thing is that we use the word love and some of the emotions of love wrong. And that's why a lot of us give up on love, don't really care for it. And that's why a lot of us are broken by it. I've met tons of men and women who, when you talk about love, the first thing they say is, fuck love. They say, man, I don't care about love, man. People broke my heart too many times. And it's crazy because I've been in that situation. I've been there where people have broken my heart multiple times. And people keep saying, man, you need to leave them alone, X, Y, Z, you know, stuff like that. But I naturally let that person walk out my life if they want to walk out. Now, the only time, actually, no, not even going to say that. There's been multiple times where someone will walk out my life and come back. And I've heard it many other times, like, Bernard, I know you was right. I'm sorry for how I treated you. I'm sorry that I broke your heart and X, Y, Z. Heard it over a million times. And to be honest, I'm going to keep hearing it a million times. That's just how we are as humans. Especially if we realize we did wrong, we always want to try. Naturally, we will try to make it right. Especially if you got that heart that, you know, that can sit there and say, yeah, let me just try to make this right. So, love is something that we really take for granted or use to manipulate. And most of the time, people do not see that evil side of it. Because sometimes we're blinded by it. And that's why, you know, you gotta know yourself. Or learn about yourself to understand that some people are liars, some people are wholehearted. And the truth about that person will always be in your face. Now, you have the option to accept the truth. I mean, I'll be honest with me, I've let people walk out my life because they weren't right for me. It's just like a natural thing to go and say, hey, this is what's going to happen. This person isn't good for you. And if this person does decide to come back, it's because I let them come back. And you know, I actually understand that, and I take that to heart nowadays. It's like, yeah, if God says, if God takes them out, and we don't talk for like years, cool, I'm fine with that. It's happened before, and it will always happen. But that's just God working on your life, especially if you try to, be where you want to be in the next few years or so. Hi, Dante. That's why you gotta let God work in your life and understand this is about you learning yourself too. Yes? Alright. Dante said hi, everybody. So back to my topic. It's just with everything I've been through in my life, I have given up on romantic love. Mainly because the natural thing of rejection. I do not like getting rejected, but I know it's part of life. And I'm scared of rejection, especially if I really loved you. Especially if I really got, strong feelings for you. When people feel like that, they're like, hey, I like you, I really like you. I see a future with you. And then the person's just like, well, I don't. I like you, but I don't see no future with you. That shit hurts. I know too many people that have been through it. I've been through it. And, it makes me feel like, will I ever find love? Or why is this always happening to me? Why I can't get the person that I want? And I understand why God does it sometimes. Because sometimes, hey, I need to work on myself. This person isn't for you. What else? This person needs to work on themselves. Many different reasons why this happens. And I'm starting to understand that more. Especially how this day and age is. A lot of us don't really know what love is. We say we want love, but most of us don't know what love is, don't know how to express it, or cut off from it. Or we have a bad conception of what love is. I got a friend who says she wanted to be a wife. And mind you, she is a badass woman. Like, she got goals, she's doing everything she needs to do. And she look fucking amazing. And, she could attract anyone she wants. Any man she wants. I'll get into that a little later. So, when we talked, she said she wanted to be a wife. I'm like, all right, cool. I see that happening. At the time we had these conversations, I didn't tell her exactly what I was saying, what I was feeling, because I didn't want to offend her in the way that, would hurt her. I'm not trying to offend her. Wrong words. I wasn't trying to offend her at all, and I didn't want to hurt her feelings. Because being a wife, it takes a lot to be a wife. You gotta make sure you're in the right state of mind, make sure you're in the right place, fit spiritually, emotionally, mentally. You gotta make sure you can be there for a person. Whoever this person you try to marry, the typical thing that people, the societal norm of what a wife is a person that cooks, cleans, take care of the kids, make sure the man is taken care of, fuck them, suck them, the whole nine shebang of whatever a wife's supposed to be. The problem is nowadays, we do not know exactly what a wife is. A wife is not just about, oh, I'm gonna cook and clean, make sure the kids are good, make sure my husband is okay on a day when he come home from work, if he make sure I pamper him and stuff like that. No, a wife is way more than that. A wife is supposed to be a safe space. A wife is supposed to be someone that that her husband can come to afterwards and just vent if he has a hard day. What else? Emotional support, nourishing. Most men don't need somebody to take care of him. He just needs somebody to be his peace. What else? Most women that I have seen, most women are already wife material. They've been just fucking with the wrong niggas. And it's hard out here, to be honest with you. But no, a wife should be able to cook, clean, take care of the kids, and make sure the house is in order and stuff like that. But also, she's supposed to be very supportive, loving, caring, emotionally stable. So when her husband does come to her life or come home from work or anything like that, he can be able to have a safe space to come home to. And sometimes one of the main reasons why marriages don't work is because us men, we are very simple. When we say we want to marry you and settle down, depending on the guy, because some guys use that as a tactic of manipulation and fuck them niggas. I'm talking about us good guys, us real genuine motherfuckers. Yeah. When we say we really want to marry you, it's not just, oh, I'm gonna say marry you so I can get some pussy. No. For me, I'm gonna say for me, for example, I told my best friend, when I expressed my feelings to her, I told her, like, look, truthfully, if I could have it a certain way, I would marry you right now. Because she showed all the cues of a wife at that time. And, yeah. But again, back to my points. A wife is it's a lot to be a wife. Same thing with being a husband. Excuse me. Get your butt down. You know better. Anyway, it's a lot. And some people get into marriages or civil contracts and don't understand what they're getting into. Like, for instance, when you are about to get married, you gotta talk to, I don't know if they still do it. I know you gotta talk to like a pastor or somebody who is doing your marriage. And you gotta go to counseling basically to make sure that this is what you wanna do. Is this marriage what you wanna do? You know, like for instance, I watched a video of a marriage counselor. I think it was a marriage counselor. I'm not too sure who it was, but I know it was a lady, and she asked this couple that was planning on getting married certain questions. And the answer that I heard her say really shocked me. So, the answer I heard that really shocked me was that the question she asked them was that when you get sick or when you're hospitalized, or when your kids need to be taken care of, is this person, I'm wording it all differently, but they're basically saying the same thing. She said, when you get sick, hospitalized, kids are sick or things like that, who can you call to take care of you, to take care of your household? And most of the answers that she got wasn't even the person he was trying to get married to. Like one couple said, the lady, the girl, the woman who that the guy was trying to marry, the lady asked that question. The woman said, "My mom." The guy was in shock. Like, for real? So you can't call on me? And the guy's response was that he said nobody. So the thing is, when you are trying to settle down and marry somebody, you gotta understand, is this person really yours? It doesn't matter how good your first few months, first couple years are. It don't matter. That means nothing. Because I personally seen somebody, this is a guy, who, starting off in their relationship, he treated the girl right, treated her how she wanted to be treated, show her love and consistency. Once she gave it up to him, he's like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm good. Yeah, I'm too busy." Basically treated her like trash. And because she was so in love, she stayed with the man. She kept trying to make things work. And it's just like, she came crying to me a few times. Like, I don't know if this is going to work out. The choice is technically yours. And I've got this from my sister. My older sister told me this a long time ago. Weigh the good and the bad. If the good outweighs the bad, try to make it work. If the bad outweighs the good, then you know what you gotta do. A lot of times we are so stuck in love that we'll make the good outweigh the bad. We'll start putting little shit on the list, like, "Oh, she look good. She talks real fine. She talks eloquently. She amazes me every day. She pushes me forward." And that's one thing why we should always pray and ask God, is this person right? Show me the signs to help me understand, is this person right? And I'm going to be honest, this has happened to me recently. Excuse me. This has happened to me recently where, like, a friend of mine, we got into a very heated, like, anger-filled conversation. And I'm not gonna lie, I ruined my chances of even trying to be in a romantic relationship with her. But I was trying to tell her all this time that we've been dealing with each other. When I say dealing, that does not mean fucking. I'm talking about we've been living with each other, instilling in each other, pouring into each other, and just being there for each other in a sense. I've been telling her, like, look, this whole time I've been nothing but a friend to you. Yes, I deeply love you and care about you, and I will walk to the end of the earth just to support you and things like that, certain stuff like that. And at that time, she had a lot on her mind, and I felt it. And she just was angry. She was releasing anger. And I understand. Yeah. That's why when we talk, especially back then, we talked a lot. She had tons of times to leave and never say anything to me, block me, stuff like that, or a whole shebang of saying I'm cutting Renard off. But for some reason she didn't. And I'm thankful because now things are just working up, I'm still trying to rebuild our friendship. Granted, I still love this girl romantically, but I'm not rushing to be into a romantic relationship. And I told her this multiple times. But back to my main point is that I've seen people do good with malicious intent, and it really tells a lot about the human psyche. Again, like I said before, we are born in sin. Naturally, we will sin. And as crazy as it sounds, it's all true. It's in the Bible. It's in a lot of holy books. It's in everyday life that we live. Like, mind you, we in Baltimore. We was rated #1 at one point in time for murder. Now I think we're like, what, top 10? Sorry. I'm not too sure. I don't keep up with the numbers. But it's still crazy out here. But going back to, I'm still stuck on the romantic, love situation. A lot of us, especially us black people, a lot of us, sad to say it, we gave up on love. And then a lot of our grandparents, they gave up on love, and what happens is that it trickles down to us, our current generation. I'm talking to the young ones too. So, because we trauma build, basically. Giving up on love is a trauma. Whether we didn't have it growing up, whether we didn't have it romantically, or whether people just used us, took our love for granted. That's why a lot of us are closed off to it. And it's very understandable now that I see it, because look where it all came from. We all don't know how to properly love, and we throw that word around or throw those emotions around because we all easy. Yeah, believe it or not, we are easy. A lot of us, especially if we didn't have love, a lot of us are easily swayed. I used to be that way. I really used to be that way, especially before I started working in my current career. I really was gullible back when I was younger. Was falling for anybody that treated me nice. Any female, I wanted to get y'all straight on that. Any female that treated me nice, or I had some type of weird ass connection with, it's like, let me try my hand. Let's see. And then, multiple times, I don't like you like that, Renard. I just see you as a friend. I see you as a family, which is weird. I don't know see how people see me as family. We're not related by blood, but I understand. I understand that. A lot of different, reasons of why I got rejected. And, that's cool. I learned my lesson. And I just keep moving forward and make the changes that I needed to make to myself. And once I started to really, harden myself, guarding my heart and my spirit and everything like that, just those people with bad intentions stopped coming around, which is a good thing. I started to see people for who they are and just let it be as it was. They don't interact with me, that's good, that's cool. And that's when I started to work in security. where I really started to see how people were, especially when I worked in the hospital. The mind is a powerful thing, and some people are gone. They can talk all that good stuff, but some people are gone. And it's sad to say it like that. But I've learned things where I take it and put it into perspective of today's life. Is that I need to be very careful of who I let in my life, who I let my spirit connect with. Because some people are drainers, as they call energy vampires. Some people are very manipulative. They use you. They take advantage of you. Some people really just want to see you fall. And speaking of falling, I've hit rock bottom more than once. Like the song says, we fall down, we get back up. That's some true shit. I've fallen multiple times. I've been in dark places, spiritually and mentally, multiple times. And being in those places, I don't want to go back, because I've seen a side of me. Maybe not the full extent, but I've seen a side of me where if I was to let my evil impulses come out, I would probably be dead by now. But that's why I thank God for being in my life the way He is, and actually helping me be a better person. It's crazy out there. So I'm gonna stop talking about romantic love and talk about family love. Family love is something we all deal with on a daily basis. Now, most of us, especially here in Baltimore, and because we're black, most of us have fucked up family love. I say that because most of the time you'll hear people say, well, I don't care about my cousin or my brothers and sisters. Man, excuse me, they did me wrong, fuck them. They wasn't really in my life, so I don't give a fuck. It's always something crazy like that, you know? Now, I'm gonna say through my experience with family love is that, yeah, growing up, you know, my brothers and sisters were always there. My mom wasn't always there. Hell, growing up, I didn't even know who the hell my real dad was. Crazy part is, let me speak on that real quick. The man who took care of me and my twin sister was not my real dad, but because he took care of us so young, at the age of 2, he is still considered my dad. I still call him my dad to this day, even though he passed away almost 15 years ago? Yeah, 15 years ago. Actually, hold on. Man. Yeah, 15 years ago. Yep. He's still considered my dad. He took care of us. Our relationship wasn't the best, but he took care of us. He made sure we had food, clothes. We went to school. We went to church. We made sure we were safe. And he is my dad. So back to family love. Just know, family love is very tricky nowadays. Well, growing up, just in general, family love is very tricky because a lot of times we are not in each other's lives like we should be. That comes from single family homes, broken marriages, you know, people not trying to be parents. A whole lot of stuff, you know? And it's just like, God works in mysterious ways. God let this happen. I'm saying in my experience, God let this happen because He knew at that time our mom was not right. I'm sorry, wrong words. Our mom was not ready. Granted, she already had old, other kids. Like my brothers and sisters are older than me. I'm the youngest, and granted, she had them, but she still wasn't ready to be a mom. Still, the love like she's supposed to be like loving us. And nowadays, as I'm going through it, I understand why she did what she did. Because she realized she wasn't ready. She didn't want us, especially me and my sister, she didn't want us going through that situation as she's already been through with her other kids, my brothers and sisters. Do I love my mom? Yes. Do I want to build a better relationship? Yes. Am I afraid? Yes. Because I don't know what to expect. I mean, I don't know really where to start conversations. I forgive my mom. I always forgive. Just like, my brothers and sisters, we don't really talk a lot, like regular brothers and sisters. I still love them. I forgive them, even though they probably never did anything wrong. I still forgive them. And it's just, same thing about stepbrothers and sisters. I still love them. I forgive them. And this all goes to my segment of knowing yourself, because most people would have just said, fuck all of this, and cut all communication with anybody else, supposedly family. Like, it's just a lot to really think about and to grow up with too, especially at a young age. And most people ask me, with all the stuff you've been through, and especially with your family, how can you handle all that? And truthfully, I still don't have an answer to that to this day. And it's okay. Because sometimes some situations, some questions don't need an answer. But back to family love. Family love is so hard nowadays, especially how society got it. Single parent homes. Mom is always raising the kid. The dads are nowhere to be found, or it's very rare to find the dad raising the kid and the mom to be nowhere to be found. Or just in general where both parents are gone. No communication with other siblings. No communication with other family that's outside of the city or anything like that. Some people don't really find out anything about that family until a very old age. But family love is, when you don't have family love, especially growing up, it does build a trauma. Because naturally we long for that. So we start finding family in like random people. For instance, I've met people who have street family. Drug dealers, prostitutes, police, that whole, everything like that. Crackheads, stuff like that. That's technically their family, because their real family is not there. And that's hurtful. That creates trauma. And some people's lives go astray because of that. We got a lot of good people in life walking around that are fucked up in the head because they didn't have that family they needed. And it's sad to see it like that, especially here in Baltimore. But I know in my future, and this is one reason why I'm very hesitant about marriage and stuff like that, is because in my future, I know what I want. I want to have a family. I want to get married. I want to have kids. I want to have a nice ass house. I want to be successful, wealthy. The whole shebang, basically, that all of us really want. Because we can sold an American dream that's a lie, technically. But all of us really want those things. Some of us know where to start, some of us don't. And it all truthfully starts in you. But one thing I do want to say is that when you get your family that you want to have, you got to make sure you put in that work to keep that family too. It's like going back over time and realizing what you didn't have and saying, I don't want that for my kids. I want better. And you know, the work really starts in you. It starts by forgiving. It starts acknowledging and forgiving, like, hey, this is what happened growing up. It created a trauma in my life. Do I forgive, or do I keep holding the grudge? That's the question you gotta ask yourself. And the answer you give yourself will definitely tell you about what you want to do. Since it is running a little late, I ain't trying to be too long. You know, learning who you are, especially growing up, trying to better yourself, build love, romantically or just with a family. Kind of put less water for some reason. Alright, there we go. You know, knowing who you are, knowing what you're trying to build to, knowing how to love with your heart, not with your mind, with your heart, can all go a long way in the future. You just gotta be ready to receive the criticism and take the steps you need to learn how to better yourself so you can get everything you want in life. Once you learn who you are and start taking those steps to bettering yourself, learning how to be strong in who you are, strong in the word. If you, excuse me. If you are, you know, a Bible reader, being strong in the word, having that faith, and just letting God lead. For those that don't believe the Bible, God, basically learning who you are and truly God, listening to your heart and the universe talking, you'll be fine. You'll definitely make it. So just hopefully, you know, this hits you somewhere in your heart, somewhere around there. Somewhere, I don't know where it's at, like here, baby, I don't know. But learning to learn yourself and love yourself, learning how to love your family, learning to love and forgive will take you a long way.